Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soviet Global Operation Falcon, turn 2.1. Soviets are having a rough time of it, so this turn I may have to make a little bit of an adjustment just in case they don't get something exciting happen. So the Soviets are going to spend their 2 again and attempt the insurgency in Colombia. And then we'll see where we go from there. So let's move these over. Looking for 10s and up. And they got it. So there is an insurgent placed into Colombia, which the U.S. will have to deal with on their turn. All right. So the Soviet buy is down here. So I've got their missile production already set up. They're buying a fighter for 8, a Marine for 4, and a nuke attack sub for 6. All right, so combat movement. The Soviets are going to put this guy here on silent running, and he is going to transition up to A41 to create some problems for the Soviets, hopefully. The rest of the attacks are as follows. The Soviets are going to fire from their major air base a cruise missile strike on the major army base. They're going to launch a border attack, which I have, you'll note I've taken the cards off because I have it set up on the battle board. It's complicated enough. We have to do that. They are going to fire 2 cruise missiles from their 2 major shipyards there at the U.S. fleet. And that is it. All right, let's do the quick ones. So the U.S. now gets 3 shots at these cruise missiles, since they now have the complete pairing of 2 ships and 2 frigates and 1 cruiser. Looking for 4s. They shoot down 1 of them, which means 1 of these Soviets gets through, and that is a hit. The U.S., in the name of ongoing missile defense, is going to take a destroyer for that rather than a frigate. All right, now the cruise missile strike. So this, if it is intercepted, this is a major base, so it gets 2. It gets 2 shots. If it fails to shoot this down, it will do either 1 or 2 damage. Let's see. All right. So that's a 12 and a 7. You can see there. So the U.S. takes 1 damage on their major army base, which I will represent here with a little red chip. Okay, so we will take that and that off. So far, some pretty good successes for the Soviets. So that's all their actions. Now, let's come over this way and try to set this up so that I can get a bit of a view of both. I don't know, maybe I can't. All right, well, let's just do it like this. Okay, so both the US and the Soviets are going to use their chemical weapons on their artillery, which gets them 2 dice. The first casualty they take in each of these cases are going to be chemical disruption, which will move the other side's land units down 1 for the duration of the combat. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to roll the U.S. and Soviet artillery for strikes at the same time, and we'll see what we get. Looking for 3s. All right, so unfortunately for the Soviets, the U.S. hit with this 1. Soviets do not. So I'm going to turn the chem markers back to their tables and move everybody down. Which is very unfortunate for the Soviets. All right. Soviets also get a pair of shots at the U.S. Or at the U.S. also gets a pair of shots at the Soviet aircraft that are coming in with its Sam's. Oh my gosh, these poor Soviets! They cannot get a break. All right, so they will take their fighter, which will not get to shoot, unfortunately for them. All right, so now we have the Soviet 2 shots. Miss the Soviet infantry, which attack only at 1 now. That is a 1. Okay, so that's 1 general hit. Now they have 5 mechs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking for 2s now. That's a 1. So we get 2 general hits. 3 mechs, or no, 3 MBTs. Those all miss. And then 1 7 attack bomber. That's also a miss. All right, picking up with the U.S. counterattack. So this is 1 fighter at air superiority, which of course hits. So it's going to take out the Soviet attack bomber. This is very bad for the Soviets. All right, now the Soviets get to be shot at by 2 light infantry. Miss, MBT. Also a miss. Thunderbolt. That's narrowly a miss. And then 4 mechs. Ooh, 3 hits. Okay, so the Soviets are going to have to make some hard choices here. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. So that's the Soviet turn. It was pretty bad. All right, so we will move those guys back to their task forces in a moment. Let me just pause it and do that. So this is how it stands after that. I had forgotten to take the Soviets 2 hits. So the U.S. chose to lose 2 light infantry. Okay. So the Soviets are now going to do some non-combat movements. So they're going to move this diesel electric sub 1, 2, 3 to join this fleet here. They don't have a lot else they can move. They're going to sea lift this guy out of the minor port here in the Falklands into the task force. And that's it. The Soviets will build units now. They're going to drop a fighter and a marine, a nuclear attack sub here. They will build 3 missiles, 2 anti-ship and 1 cruise missile. And I think that's it, collecting income. So the Soviets have 2 right now for Buenos Aires. They get that 2 plus a 10 wartime income bonus, so 12, 16 for the 4 points of Falklands, 17, 18 points. So they will have 18 IPP on hand to spend next turn, and that is it. War Doctor signing off.